Let's be real. 2026 is a weird time to be buying a car. Inflation is still biting. Interest rates aren't exactly friendly. And every week there's a new headline about some Chinese EV brand you've never heard of offering 300 miles of range for what feels like the price of a used PlayStation. Into all of this walks the refreshed Tesla Model Y, codenamed Juniper, with a price tag that made a lot of people do a double take. And look, I get it. You pull up the configurator, you see numbers that are higher than what you remember. And your brain does what brains do. It files this under more expensive. Move on. But here's the thing, that reaction might be costing you money. A lot of it. So today we're going to break down 3 things: why the Juniper looks more expensive but might not actually be, what Tesla quietly changed under the hood that shifts where your money goes over time, and whether when you actually do the math, this car makes more financial sense than its sticker price suggests. Let's get into it. The price illusion. Why buyers think Juniper is more expensive. Here's the first thing you need to understand about the 2026 Model Y lineup. Tesla blew up the old pricing structure entirely. As of February-March 2026, the US configurator was completely restructured: new trim names, new spec bundles, new everything. The base RWD now starts at $39,990. The standard AWD sits at $41,990. Long-range AWD comes in at $48,990. And if you want the performance, that's $57,490. The launch series, the fully loaded version, starts at $61,630, including destination. Now here's where the confusion kicks in. A lot of people are comparing these numbers to the old Model Y and calling it a price hike. But they're not comparing the same cars. Tesla moved from a bundled pricing model where features were baked into trim levels to a more modular approach where you pick what you actually need. Want the 7-seat interior? That's an extra $2,500. Want full self-driving out of the box? That's on the launch series. The base number looks higher, but you're no longer paying for things you might not use. There's also a competitive context here that's impossible to ignore in 2026. BYD's European sales jumped 165% in January of this year, while Tesla's dropped 17% in the same market. XPeng is getting favorable press comparisons. Chinese EVs are winning on absolute price, no question. But here's the thing analysts keep pointing out: Tesla wins when you zoom out past the sticker and look at total cost of ownership, resale value, and network reliability. The price tag is the beginning of the conversation, not the end of it. Cost shift. What you're actually paying less for over time. Start with aerodynamics. Tesla reduced the drag coefficient from 0.23 to 0.22 on the Juniper, a 4% improvement. That sounds small until you remember that aerodynamic drag scales with the square of your speed. On the highway, that delta compounds fast, and it's one of the main reasons the long-range AWD now hits an EPA estimated 329 miles, more than 20 miles better than the pre-Juniper version. For a lot of drivers, that's the difference between needing a charging stop on a road trip and not. Then there's charging speed. The Juniper supports up to 250 kilowatts DC fast charging, which translates to roughly 182 miles of range added in 15 minutes. That's not just a convenience upgrade. It's a time cost reduction that matters when you're calculating real-world ownership friction. The suspension is completely redesigned. Tesla switched to multi-stage damping valving on the shock absorbers. The system softens up over potholes and bumps at low speeds, then stiffens automatically during high-speed cornering. Previous Model Y owners complained constantly about the harsh ride, especially on broken urban pavement. That complaint is largely gone now, and the practical implication is less suspension wear over time. The thermal system, specifically the octavalve heat pump, now preserves up to 40% more range in cold weather compared to older EVs using resistive heating. If you're in the Midwest, the Northeast, or anywhere that actually gets winters, this is not a small thing. Cold weather range loss has historically been one of the biggest real-world pain points for EV owners. The Juniper addresses it directly. And then there's HW 4.5, Tesla's new hardware platform that introduces microfluidic cleaning nozzles built directly into the rear tailgate camera and B-pillar side cameras. When the car's neural net detects occlusion, or when you trigger the windshield washers, a micro-pulse of fluid clears the lens automatically. For years, autopilot cameras blocked was one of the most common complaints from Tesla owners in cold or rainy climates. That's now a solved problem. The refrigerator analogy still holds. You can buy the cheaper model up front and pay more to run it every month. Or spend more at the register and watch your utility bill drop. The Juniper is the inverter fridge of electric SUVs. The upfront number is higher. The ongoing cost is lower. The question is which one you're actually tracking. Quick question when you're buying a car. Are you a sticker price person or a total cost person? Comment 1 if the upfront price is what seals the deal for you. Comment 2 if you run the full 5-year math before committing. Drop your reason below. I'm genuinely curious where you land on this. And if you've watched this far, just hit subscribe. We're pushing toward 31,313 subscribers, and every single one counts. Takes 1 second and you won't miss the next breakdown. The mental accounting problem. Why does your brain see the $48,990 price tag but completely ignore the $141 you're saving every single month? The estimated monthly driving cost for a Model Y Standard is around $96. The average ICE SUV of comparable size runs about $237 per month when you factor in fuel. That's a $141 difference every month that never shows up on a price comparison chart. Over 5 years, that's roughly $8,460 that the gasoline driver spent and the Tesla driver didn't. And that's before you touch maintenance. Speaking of which, the average maintenance cost for a Model Y over the first 5 years of ownership is $277 per year. Per year. There are no oil changes. No transmission fluid. Fewer brake jobs because regenerative braking does most of the work. That's not a lifestyle perk. It's a structural cost difference baked into the platform. The problem is that human brains are wired for visible costs. You see the $48,990 on the screen. You feel the monthly loan payment. Those are real and immediate. But the $141 in monthly fuel savings, the $200 brake job you didn't have to do, those are invisible, distributed across years in a way that our mental accounting just isn't built to handle. Naturally, it's the same psychological trap that makes people keep cable TV longer than they should. You see the subscription fee every month, but you never sit down and add up what you're no longer paying for. The Juniper's savings work the same way. They're real. They're significant, but you have to deliberately go looking for them to see them. Tesla's strategy, not lower price. But smarter pricing. Tesla is not trying to be the cheapest EV on the market. That ship has sailed. BYD and a growing fleet of Chinese manufacturers have made it clear they're willing to compete on absolute price in a way Tesla simply isn't. And in the short term, that's showing up in the sales numbers. But look at what Tesla is actually doing. The Juniper launch isn't about undercutting Xpeng or matching BYD on sticker price. It's about locking in a lower cost structure across the ownership lifecycle, lower energy consumption through better aero and thermal management, lower maintenance through platform maturity, and higher long-term software value through continuous over-the-air updates that competitors can't yet replicate at the same scale. Corporate fleet buyers in Germany and the Netherlands who run these numbers for a living have already noticed. They're projecting resale values on the Juniper running 5 to 8 points better than pre-refresh Model Ys, specifically because the new design and upgraded feature set make the cars more competitive in the used market. That's not sentiment. That's math. The supercharger network is also part of this equation in a way that's easy to underestimate. Tesla operates the most reliable, most geographically dense fast-charging infrastructure in North America and much of Europe. When you buy a Juniper, you're not just buying a car, You're buying access to that network. Chinese competitors are building fast. But supercharger reliability and coverage is a real advantage that doesn't show up on a spec sheet comparison. Tesla's bet is essentially this: as the EV market matures and buyers get more sophisticated, the question will shift from which car is cheaper to buy to which car is cheaper to own. Tesla is positioning the Juniper to win that second question. Whether that bet pays off in market share is still an open question in 2026, but the underlying logic is sound. So, is Juniper actually worth it? Let's put some honest numbers on the table. A Model Y long-range AWD at $50,380 MSRP will lose roughly 15 to 18% of its value in year one. After 5 years, historical data from IC Cars and Car Gurus puts Model Y retention at around 50 to 55% of original MSRP, which sounds painful until you compare it to other EVs, where 60% depreciation over 5 years is common. Among electric crossovers, the Model Y is consistently one of the stronger performers on resale. Now factor in the $8,460 in fuel savings over 5 years at current rates. Add the reduced maintenance, roughly $1,385 less than you'd spend servicing a comparable ICE SUV over the same period. Add the $7,500 federal tax credit if you qualify, which brings the effective purchase price of the long-range AWD down to around $41,490. Suddenly, the math looks different than the sticker suggested. There's an honest caveat here, though, and you deserve to hear it. Tesla's history of aggressive new car price cuts has repeatedly compressed used car values faster than most buyers expected. The 2022-2023 price/cycle knocked more than $13,000 off the Model Y MSRP in a single year and immediately hit used inventory pricing hard. The Juniper refresh helps stabilize this. The new design and updated features create a clearer visual and spec gap from older models, but the risk of a future price adjustment is a wild card that belongs in your calculation. So here's what I want to hear from you when you're shopping for a car. Any car. Do you actually sit down and run the 5-year cost? Or do you go off the sticker? And if you owned a Model Y before the refresh, do you think the Juniper justifies the upgrade? Drop it in the comments. I read every one. If this breakdown helped you think about it differently, hit that like button. It genuinely helps our channel reach people who are asking the same questions. Subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss the next one.